Yeah, that is the Auburn Tigers fight song, and War Eagle is right, as the SEC is back this weekend, and the Yinzer Crazy podcast is back today with a former Auburn Tiger and Pittsburgh Steeler. Sammie Coates will be joining me in just a few minutes. I want you to know that the Yinzer Crazy podcast is sponsored by YinzerCrazy.com. Get down with us as soon as possible because we really do have some seriously sweet content dropping in the next few weeks. Make sure to also follow all of our socials. Hey man, everyone is on social now, so if you aren't following us, you're missing out on some serious giveaways. For example, last week we gave out a Zach Banner autograph. Our thoughts are certainly with him at this time in his recovery from ACL surgery. I think all of YC Nation will echo those sentiments, and we can't wait to see him back on the field playing meaningful games in the black and gold. So make sure you follow us on Twitter. It's at Yinzer Crazy Show. We'll consistently engage you on all things Pittsburgh. On Instagram, we are at Yinzer_crazy. Yinzer_crazy, where you can check out some of the glorious history of Pittsburgh sports photos compiled into our account. And on Facebook, of course, we have our fan group. We're getting close to 10,000 unique fans just in under a year. Make sure you type in Yinzer Crazy to be a part of that movement. That's certainly one thing that we pride ourselves on over here is building a sense of community for Pittsburghers all over the country and world through our content. I think we all know that times are quite difficult out there right now for many. We've always known sports to be the perfect way to kind of rally around a cause that we're passionate about, at least when Pittsburgh teams are winning, that's for sure. So jump on the Yinzer Crazy bandwagon before it's too late. Anywho, I want to let you know what's coming up. Tomorrow, we'll be hearing from a large part of Yinzer Nation, the last Pitt Panthers quarterback to lead the team to 10 wins since Dan Marino. That's Dan Marino, yes, in 1981. Do you have any guesses? I'll give you a couple seconds. You can ask your dog. Yep, that's exactly right. Bill Stull is the answer to the trivia question. Woof woof. Stull grew up in the city where we put french fries on our salads, and he started at Mount Lebanon High School in the Whippeal and eventually went on to start for the Panthers in 2008 and 2009 and did win that elusive 10 games, as mentioned. So we'll chop it up with him tomorrow about his playing time with Coach Dave Wanstedt, why he felt that playing in his hometown of Pittsburgh was good for him, and we'll certainly get his full evaluation on Pitt quarterback Kenny Pickett, knowing that Stull is a guy who was under center in the same program just a decade ago. But today is all about former Steelers wide receiver Sammie Coates. He talks about being in the same receiver room as individuals such as Antonio Brown and Martavis Bryant. What must that have been like? And we also get his take on how he feels about his labeling as a bust by some, and we think that's just plain wrong. It's getting a little colder in the Berg as that fall weather hits, so for us, we felt it was appropriate to bring out our coats for this one. And welcome back into the Yinzer Crazy Show, sponsored by YinzerCrazy.com. And how awesome is this? Auburn is back in action this weekend as they take on Kentucky at Jordan-Hare Stadium, and also the Steelers will be hosting the Texans at Heinz Field. And we have a dude who made a significant impact in both stadiums, former Steelers receiver Sammie Coates. Sammie, thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. A third-round pick in the 2015 NFL Draft out of Auburn. Nice call by our guy Josh Carney. Want to shout that out. And Sammie, you faced some stiff competition in that receiver room early. Guys like Antonio Brown and Marcus Wheaton and Martavis Bryant were in that room. What was that like for you to be drafted to a wide receiver class in a team that kind of already was established at the position?
It was a great group of guys, man. Just to be around those guys, it wasn't ever like nothing crazy. You know, everybody was there to win. I thought we would have had a great chance to go all the way, man. We had that chance. We, we wanted to go play in Denver. You know, with the guys we had guys that were available, so it helped. But at the end of the day, it was just about winning when we was there.
Sammie, you had 2 catches in that playoff loss to the Broncos where you were elevated to a starting role after AB missed that game with a concussion. What was that experience like for you, starting such a big-time playoff game in a big-time moment, and you had 61 yards?
You had to step up. Like the guys going down left and right. I think Marcus Wheaton pulled his hamstring that game, so we was down like 3 receivers. And I remember Ben saying, "Hey, you got to step up today." And I just stepped up and just made the plays when they presented themselves to me.
In 2016, you really started to find your rhythm, man. You had a huge game against the Jets that would obviously be a profound moment in your career. 6 catches, 139 yards, 2 touchdowns. But you also broke your finger that day. And so obviously it was a day that I'm sure you remember very well. What do you remember? What stands out from for that entire day, man? I'm sure you've been asked about it 1,000 times.
That game was like, it was a happy moment, but a sad moment. I knew it was going to be a taxes on my career. I knew it was going to, affect me like a lot. But in that game, when I broke my finger and I split my hand, so I got stitches too. So when I broke my finger, I had to get stitches in the middle of my hand. I just knew it was going to be a lot on me mentally. Just trying to recover from that and not have surgery in the middle of the year after you had a great career going. But that's part of the game. That kind of put a lot on me emotionally because I just had this crazy game, man. But I got injured in that crazy game. Went back in after having scored another touchdown, but it did impact my career.
Sammy, did you think it would be as bad when it initially happened, that finger injury?
The thing was, I didn't even know I did it until I went to the sideline. My pink gloves were like burgundy. I was like, "What's going on, man?"
Wow.
I took that glove off. My finger was, I don't know where it was, but and I had a big blood just running down my hand, man. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, certainly unexpected. We're talking with Sammy Coates, former Steelers receiver, former Auburn receiver, here in the Yinzer Crazy podcast. Sammy, you battled that injury for a little while, and then eventually the Steelers traded you to the Cleveland Browns, which I'm sure kind of felt, like going from Adidas to Nike. Conversations in the Pittsburgh locker room centered around beating the Browns, and now your conversations are like, let's kick the Steelers' ass. Was that weird, man, or was it just kind of business at the time for you?
At the time, it was a lot. And, like to be honest, like that was like something that really, I think, put a lot of pressure on me. A lot, like I got mentally weak after that because at the same time, I just had my son like a week before they traded me. Um, I was still facing. I just had surgery like before camp started, and that whole off season, man, was like crazy. I had 3 surgeries in one off season. I had my son. I got traded to the Browns a week before we played the Steelers. It was just mentally just killed me. And after that, it was like, I don't know. I was just searching for answers, and it was one of the hardest things I think I had to face in my career.
Yeah, no question, man. It sounds like everything kind of accelerated very rapidly. I know we were
Yeah.
able to check out your Instagram, man. It looks like your son is doing awesome. You're still working out left and right down there. You're only 27. I'd imagine you feel healthy after a stint in the XFL with the Houston Roughnecks this past year. What's the next opportunity for Sammy Coates look like? Are you sitting by the phone with the way injuries are kind of happening so often here in the
You
NFL?
know, me. I'm doing whatever I got to do to take care of my family, man. I've been coaching. I've been just doing that. That's been awesome, man. Getting to hang around kids, getting them answers to all their questions, man. You know, if I ever play another down of football, it is what it is. I'm not gonna go crazy worrying about a phone call. I still got a family to take care of, so I got to think about my family before I think about football.
It's a great perspective, no question. I think part of our um, impact on this story for you is to help you tell your story. And I think a lot of fans maybe mislabel you as somebody who didn't necessarily pan out, but all indications are that you were going to have an excellent career before that injury. So it's obviously good to hear you have that perspective, and we're happy to help you tell that story, man. Because we're a Pittsburgh-based podcast, we got to ask you a couple things about your time in the city, man. Did you have you fall in love with any food groups that you miss? Where are you at right now? Are you in Alabama?
No, I'm in Florida.
You're in
Yes,
Florida. Okay, you're in Florida. Are there things in Pittsburgh that you kind of got to experience in the city? Maybe some sightseeing, some eating at Permane Brothers, some of those type things that you always take with you.
I tell you what, Pittsburgh is probably one of my favorite places to live. I'll tell you that. The food was always good, the people was always nice, and sports was always fun, man. You can't take that away from anybody. I tell everybody always asks me, what's your favorite place to live? I say, Pittsburgh.
That's
It's a
awesome,
great place. When it came down to the people, it was awesome.
dude. We love to hear it. You're an honorary Yinzer in our book. Have you heard that word, Yinzer?
Yeah, I've been hearing it a lot.
Well, you certainly will hear it from our show, man. Hey, we are absolutely thrilled to have you on. We wish you the best of luck in your post football life, and happy to hear that you have a healthy and happy family down there, man. And we hope to catch up with you another time here on the Yinzer Crazy Show, Sammie.